Things were finally going well. The job was working. The relationship felt right. The momentum was real. And then somehow you found a way to ruin it. Not accidentally. Almost deliberately. As if something inside you decided that good things were not meant to last. You picked the fight that didn't need to happen. You stopped showing up the way you were showing up. You made the decision that made no logical sense from the outside, but felt almost inevitable from the inside. And afterward, in the quiet that followed, you asked yourself the same question you always ask. Why do I keep doing this? The easy answer that most people reach for is fear of success. The idea that somewhere deep down you are afraid of what winning actually looks like. But psychological research points to something more specific and more honest than that. Self-sabotage is rarely about being afraid of success. It is about being afraid of the unfamiliar. And for many people, success, stability, and genuine happiness are exactly that. Unfamiliar. And the human nervous system has a very sophisticated and very exhausting way of dealing with the unfamiliar. It destroys it and returns to what it knows. This is rooted in a concept psychologists call the upper limit problem. The idea is that every person carries an internalized ceiling for how much good they believe they are allowed to experience. This ceiling is not chosen consciously. It is built over years of early experience, the environments that shaped what felt normal, what felt safe, and what felt like too much. When life begins to exceed that internal ceiling, the nervous system does not celebrate. It panics. And the most efficient way to resolve that panic is to bring everything back down to the level that feels familiar. Even if familiar means painful. The specific behaviors that follow from this are telling and painfully recognizable. Picking unnecessary arguments when a relationship gets too good. Stopping the habits that were working the moment real progress becomes visible. Arriving late, underperforming, or disappearing entirely just as an opportunity reaches its peak. Telling yourself a story about why this good thing was never real in the first place. Each of these behaviors follows the same hidden logic. If I destroy this before it can leave me, I stay in control. If I keep myself small, I stay safe from the disappointment of falling from somewhere high. There is also an identity dimension that rarely gets discussed. When things go well for long enough, a quiet crisis begins. The improved circumstances start to feel inconsistent with the internal story of who you are. If you have spent years seeing yourself as someone who struggles, someone who almost makes it, someone for whom things never quite work out, then sustained success begins to feel like wearing someone else's clothes. It doesn't fit. And the fastest way to restore the fit is to return to the narrative that feels true even if that narrative is painful. Here is the reframe. Self-sabotage is not a character flaw. It is a protection mechanism built by a younger version of you that was doing the best it could with what it had. That version of you learned that good things disappear, that hope is dangerous, and that staying small is safer than reaching high. Those lessons made sense then. They were survival tools built for a different environment. The problem is that they followed you here, into a present where they no longer apply. Understanding this does not fix the pattern overnight, but it changes the relationship with it. Instead of asking, why am I so broken? The question becomes, what is this protecting me from? And that question has an answer, which means it also has a way forward. If this reached the part of you that has been quietly wondering why, subscribe to the channel. This kind of psychology is here every time you need it.